Even after the end of the Civil War, discrimination lay at the heart of the law in many American states, particularly in the South. In the Jim Crow era, and even well into the Civil Rights era in the 1950s and 60s, discriminatory legislation and practical social separateness pervaded the United States. The town of Central Point in Caroline County, Virginia, was like a small island of racial mixing in an ocean of Jim Crow. In that town, for whatever reason, there had developed a prominent mixed-race community over many years. Richard Loving was a white boy growing up in Central Point, and it had never occurred to him that others might consider it unusual that his friends and playmates had a variety of racial backgrounds. When he was 17, he first met Mildred Jeter, who had African, Native American, and other ancestry, making her most definitely coloured according to Virginia law. As they grew, they courted, and when Mildred was 18, she fell pregnant. They could not marry in Virginia because of miscegenation laws, which made it a criminal offence for white people and non-white people to marry. So they married in Washington, D.C., where it was lawful. When they returned to Virginia, they were charged and convicted. They challenged the law on the basis that it infringed their right to liberty without due process of law. Virginia argued that because they received the same criminal penalty, the law was not discriminatory. The Supreme Court unanimously disagreed. Chief Justice Warren said, "Marriage is one of the basic civil rights of man, fundamental to our very existence and survival. To deny this fundamental freedom on so unsupportable a basis as the racial classifications embodied in these statutes is surely to deprive all the state's citizens of liberty without due process of law." The 14th Amendment requires that the freedom of choice to marry not be restricted by invidious racial discriminations. Under our Constitution, the freedom to marry or not marry a person of another race resides with the individual and cannot be infringed by the state. Miscegenation laws are therefore unconstitutional, and many people around the United States celebrate the date of the judgment, June 12, as Loving Day, the day when the court made clear that one of the rights of the American people is the right to marry the person they love without distinction as to race.